What's up, guys? I'm going to show you how to get the 19th token as a part of the Hunt Mega Edition here in Roblox, and the game is Regretevator, which we have linked in the description. So in the lobby, as soon as you join in, you guys see this microwave over here. Back behind this microwave, you're going to click on that little button, and it's basically just showing you a place where you need to go, which is kind of above the ceiling there. But there's something up there that we're going to have to unlock later, but right now we need to find ourselves the code. So in order to find the code, what we're going to have to do is go through several elevators. So different maps will have these, like not just the maps that I go to. If you go to any map, like pretty much almost, I think all of them might actually have this, but you look for like a blue piece of paper, and the blue piece of paper is like a hidden sort of note. So just look for like anything that's like blue and glowing, and if you can find that, then that is probably the note that you're looking for. Basically, you're just looking for what, you know, looks like, or we say is a mysterious note. Some of them are not going to be like super obvious, like that one, you know, you could barely even see it. But you know, like just walking by it, I found that there was something there to interact with. So even if you can't see it, it's like, you know, there still might be one there. So there's these hidden in, I think, every map, and usually you're going to find it pretty close to where you start out. So you can see right there, we've got the first note collected. There's 4 of these that we have to find, so we're going to have to go through the Regretevator. But after you find the note, you can just click on respawn. So if you leave the server, though, and like come back, you have to start all over. I realized that. I thought afterwards I could leave the server, just join a new server, but I had to start all over and find my first note again. So you're going to find these, but like this one right here, you can see like it's pretty obvious. This one's glowing over here, so it's a lot easier to see, and usually you're going to see them glowing bright blue, so they'll be easier to find. So there's 2 of them that we've got, and again, guys, pretty much every map, like if you die on the map, don't worry, just go back in the elevator and go to the next map, and you're probably going to find them. We need a total of 4. You see, just kind of looking around right wherever you start out. Again, not very far from wherever it is, so we're just gonna keep going through until we find these. And I'm pretty sure there's one in every single map. Like, I don't know for sure, but like I've seen them pop up in different maps, so many different maps, and like right away. So there you go, there's number 3 right there that we've collected, and we just need another one here, guys. After this, just 6 more mega tokens to go. Some of them, like this one, was actually a little bit tricky for me to climb up to and access, but you know, there's one pretty much in everyone, and if they're glowing bright, they're a lot easier to see. So find 4 of those bright glowing notes, and then we're gonna go to the lobby again, and we can see those notes are up there on this Pepe Silva board, and it says we need to find the floppies. We've got floppies that are missing. So we need to go through and find the floppies, and it just so turns out these floppies are hidden here in the lobby. So let's go find where the floppies are. 2 of them are downstairs, and 2 of them are right there. I actually just passed right by one of them, but first we're gonna just go down the stairs, not sit at that table like I was doing. I didn't mean to do it. We're gonna go downstairs, check over here to this. Just watch where I'm going. We've got 2 of them. One of them's back in this room over on top of this little chest, and I kept pressing E. E is the button to open up the menu that we're going to use here later, but I keep forgetting that I have to press F, so that's why it keeps popping up every time I do that. So the next one right here is in the file cabinet. We've got that one right there in the file cabinet. So we've got 2 of the floppies now that we've got 4 of the discs, or we've got 4 of the notes, 2 of the floppy disks. We're going upstairs to the next area, and we're going to grab the other 2 floppy disks, which are, of course, pretty easy to find. One was right there inside of that little ball, or I'm not sure exactly what it is, but whatever it is, it's holding the floppy disk. And then over here in these drawers, you can find there's another floppy disk in there as well. So we've got 4 of the floppy disks. Now we can go back to the Pepe Silva board, and I don't know if we even have to do that necessarily, but we can press E and go to the menu, and in the menu we're going to find ourselves the floppies over on the right side. It says floppies, so we have to go through these 1, 2, 3, and 4. These aren't really difficult to decrypt. Basically, like for this one, you have to press the button when it's in the target area, like the lock button. So just when that little thing is moving left and right, we want to press that lock button like right there, and then it gets towards the end. Seems like the area that you have to click it in gets smaller and smaller each time. It doesn't go fast or anything, and it does respond pretty much right away. And as you see, like this one, if I had almost like just pressed it like click, click, click right away on channels like 6, 7, 8, like even that one. But, you know, it might not be worth it. You might have to start all over if you're not quick enough to click on it. So, and then this channel 9 and channel 10 now, we are done with that. So as long as you do that, we are encrypted or decrypted. We've got access to this one and it's opening the file. So you can see the numbers are kind of moving around right there. So this part, you're done with floppy disk number 1. Now we're going to go and we're going to close this one. And we have to just basically go through and decrypt floppy disk number 2, number 3, and number 4. Number 2, pretty straightforward. You just read the floppy and then you just have to use the arrow keys to go, you know, like in the pattern that it tells you to, up, down. You know, you can use the arrow keys on your computer, and I think you can also use those buttons as well, but, you know, you got a little scramble timer, and you just have to make sure you do it before the timer runs out. Not difficult. They give you plenty of time to do it, so we've got the second one decrypted. Now we're going to go to number 3. We're going to read that floppy, and we're going to decrypt this one as well. So we've got one sequence, one manual sequence that we have to go through, so we have to press the buttons in correct order. So when you press the first button, all the other button numbers are going to go away. So you have to do 0, 1. Remember where 2 was, where 3, 4, and 5 were. So now we're going to go to the next one. Now remember where all the numbers are. So when you press 0, they're all going to go away. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So remember where those are. We got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got those memorized. And now we are moving through. Boom, access granted. We are moving on to the next one. So yeah, we've got the numbers there and we've got those figured out. Moving on to decryption number 4, we're going to read the floppy disk and then we're going to access. It's got 2 sequences that we've got to go through this time instead of just 1. But these 2 are familiar. We've done both of these already, so these aren't like anything new. And there's like half as much of the sequence that we have to do overall than we did last time because there's only 5 channels and not 10 on this one. And then this next time, we're going to go through this other one, which we've seen before as well. The arrows. So it's just a small amount of time, you know, 8 seconds, really quick and easy. Like they give you more than enough time, guys. So yeah, there we go. Now we've got all 4 of these decrypted and unscrambled, and we're going to go in there and get the code from those. So we're going to go back to the floppies. Now that they're all unscrambled, each one's going to give us a 2-digit number. So the first one is giving us 8, 9, and we're going to want to write that down. So get a piece of paper, write it down. The second fragment is giving us 0, 5. Okay, so we're getting this 8-digit code right here. So the third fragment right here, when we read it, gives us a 9, 0. And then we're going to close that one. And then we're going to go and read the floppy. And then the fourth one, when we read it, gives us a 2, 3. So we're going to close that guy right there. And now that we've got that 8-digit code, what we can do is go up through the vents in that area where we alluded to before. We can just climb up this way, and then there's a box back here, and then we're going to enter that code. And then, of course, our code is 8905 9023. So we can just go through and enter that code right there. We can go up or down, whichever way gets us quicker. If we go down, it brings us to 9. If we go up, it starts us at 1. And then we're going to enter the last digit right here, 3. And then as soon as you enter that, it's just going to automatically unlock. You don't have to do anything else after that. And then there you go. We've got ourselves the mega token. So there you go. If you're new, and make sure you subscribe. All right, guys, mega token number 20 as a part of the hunt event here in Roblox. So this is Tower Defense Simulator. We're going to come in here, and there's this little area in the back, and we want to come in here and enter a code, which is Red Cliff Falls. So you want to go and enter that code right there in that computer, Red Cliff Falls, and then you press send. And then once it says the Death Walker awaits, we have to go and basically play a really difficult round of TDS. You can play with other people, and you guys have preset loadouts, but it took me a few tries before I actually got through it. The first time, like the other 2 people that I was teamed up with, didn't really do anything, so it is a little luck of the draw if you end up doing like a trio. If you're good at this game and you want to do it solo, and you do it, but you got to do the mega difficulty, guys. Make sure you do the mega difficulty. I found the the balanced loadout. Like the first loadout was good for me. Those guys with the pistols, and it's got the turrets. The turrets made a huge difference, guys. If you can get 3 turrets out there and you get them all fully upgraded, you guys will be in good shape. And it seemed like the freezing things that the other player had. So I think all 3 of us pretty much had different layouts, which was great. Like some people were putting down the bases to send all of these tanks out, and then somebody was I was putting down all these turrets and getting them fully upgraded, and then we were putting down all of the other troops that we can get down. So we ended up putting down really strong armies, and that's what it took to get through this whole thing. I think there was a total of like 20 different waves, and it starts getting really challenging probably about 13 or 14. You get some people running through, and if you can get through 13 or 14, then you might have a chance. But if in the beginning of that, if you see people just really big and they're running really fast towards the end of it, it's gonna be a little bit of a tricky road, and this does take a bit of time. Probably gonna take at least 20, I think it's 20 or 30 minutes probably to get through the whole thing. So yeah, and if you die, then you got to go back and start over again. If you can do it solo, then awesome. I think if you do it solo, there's probably less enemies. If you do a trio, then it's more enemies, but then you've got more troops that you can put out. So I'm not sure exactly what is the easiest way to do it. If you guys are Tower Defense Simulator Pro, it's probably going to be a lot easier for you. It took me a little bit of time. Again, it was probably my 3rd or 4th try, but the first time other people weren't really doing anything, but I did learn the importance of these turrets. So the turrets were really helpful for me. Building up the base is helpful for other people, but at the very end, you got this core blocks Deathwalker. He's really, really strong, and then after you kill him at the end of wave 20, then you guys will get that badge there on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and it'll say Triumph. So there you go. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later. What's up, guys? I'm going to show you how to get this 21st token, the Mega Token in Pet Simulator 99, as a part of the Hunt Mega Edition event. So we're going to this event area, and we've got this whole lucky area. So we're going to go into the raid area for this whole event. So it doesn't really matter, I don't think, what difficulty tier you actually use. You just got to, make sure you've got the previous 20 tokens before you get in here so that you guys can actually have access. So you set that up, and then you go inside of here. Now, first thing you're going to want to do is just make sure you just go through the whole entire thing, get your pets and equip your pets, whatever you got to do, and just get through and clear all of the rooms in this entire thing. And then I'll be back to you when we talk about the next thing that we've got to do. But at this point, it's just going through and eating the coins and opening up all the different rooms. Okay, so you may have to actually go through this 2 times just because of the raid. You go through the raid once and you get a mystery lucky raid key. And so you may actually need that key to get to the next step, to get into the building here that we'll show you in just a second. But if this door is not working for you, like for me, the door seemed a little bit buggy. Like I had to go and click on it many, many times. Just walking up to it and clicking on it didn't really work. Sometimes I even had to like unequip my pets to get this thing to pop up. But it says, what would you like to say? So here you want to type knock knock and then submit that. And then that is going to open the door for you. So now that we've got the door open, we've got to go over to this next room over here. And then on the wall, we have to spell the words like Gunter, G-U-N-T-E-R, with the symbols on the wall that actually look like those letters. So pretty simple. Like for some reason it didn't like record my mouse. I don't know why it didn't record my mouse this time. But yeah, these symbols are all on the wall in this room. Like you can see in the back there, you've got a G. So we're gonna go through and we'll show you right here. So right here you see a G, so you're gonna click on the G. You're not gonna see anything pop up, you just gotta click on it. Of course, like you can't really tell, like there's no thing to like assure you're clicking. Now right there you can see the U on the wall, and then you guys see the N on the wall right there. And then next to the G, you guys can see we've got a T right there, pretty easy to see. And then the E back there, there you go, you see those 3 lines. You see it looks like an E. And then this one in the back that's kind of messed up, it looks like an R, but it's kind of a big R back there. Anyways, once you go through and you click on that whole thing, G-U-N-T-E-R, you can just go back to the door if you want, or clear out all this stuff, because you're going to have to clear out all of the rooms in this raid area in order to get through. But don't go through the final door, because once you have the rooms all clear, you're gonna have to go through, and there's something that you've got to do. It's gonna be a little bit time consuming, but you'll get through it. Hopefully, you might have to run through the rooms a few more times in order to do this. But first thing we're gonna do is, okay, here we go. We're gonna clean out this room. Okay, and then once you get all the coins, it opens the door for the next room. So now that we've got this next room open, as you can see, there's a bunch of 4-leaf clovers pretty much decorated all over, like every room. You can see we've got 4-leaf clovers hanging up. We've got 4-leaf clovers over on the walls. We've got 4-leaf clover. Like almost every room has a bunch of 4-leaf clovers on it. So now that we've smelled the G-U-N-T-E-R on the wall, come here, there's a pot of gold that has appeared. But when you go and you click on it, it says you're just not lucky yet. You're just not lucky enough. So in order to get lucky, you had to go and touch many 4-leaf clovers around the whole raid area. So every room has like a whole bunch of 4-leaf clovers. So you have to go around and you have to basically go and click on every single one. So there's no way to know whether you've clicked on one or not. You just have to try to be as thorough as you can going through and clicking on every single one. So you click on, those 3, click on those 3, click on all those. Make sure you don't miss any. Click on the 4-leaf clovers like on top of the buildings, like right there. You see like on top of those 4-leaf clovers as well. You're going to see 4-leaf clovers like all over. There's going to be some on the floor. There's going to be some on the walls. There's going to be some on the ceilings. So you got to make sure you go through every single room and click on every single one of these guys. So if you end up missing one and you go back to the pot of gold, then it's going to tell you that you're just still not lucky enough. So make sure you just check everything, every room right here. Go to the back, check those 3 in the back. Right here, you guys can see on the pillars, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side, we've got 4 more of those hanging right here. So for me, the ones that were the most elusive were some of the ones that were in the very back room. We've got some on the floor here as well. So make sure you get those on the floor. Make sure you also get all of these in each of the corners here and on each of those pots of gold. You've got 4 of those on each of the pots of gold. Yes, literally you got to go through that treasure chest right there. There's none on that treasure chest. I thought there might have been some that you had to click on. I'm not sure if it's actually forgiving it all, if it lets you like miss a certain number, or maybe if there's just actually one special one that you're supposed to click on. But if there is, I have no idea. I went through and clicked on a lot of them and then kept going back. But yeah, it just took going through every single room thoroughly, clicking on like that gold one in the back of the wall right there. Now, if we look up in the ceiling as well, you guys are going to see some up there in the ceiling. So you want to get all of those on the ceiling as well. Now, all of those back there behind the huge egg, see, those are like gold colored ones. Even get the gold colored ones. And then over here on this side of the ceiling, so these ones were the ones that I think I missed, that I had to get coming back to this room. Getting these ones on the wall in the ceiling, I think were the ones that finally made the difference for me to where I could actually get the mega token that I needed. So now that you got all these clicked, you can go back to the pot of gold at any point in time, and you can check and see if you've actually got those. But yeah, basically, if you don't have it, you just need to leave again and go back and keep clicking on those 4-leaf clovers. There's a lot of them. They're all over the place. So we're gonna go back to this house and back into this room, and then we go and we click on it, and it says, yay, congratulations, you completed the mega token quest. And we've got the badge there on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, finally. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later. What's up, guys? I'm going to show you how to get the 20-second mega token here in Roblox as a part of the hunt event. So this is in the game Drive World, so be ready to do some driving. So basically what's going on, you guys can see all around the map, we've got a whole bunch of UFOs that have crashed. So we need to solve the whole mystery that's going on with all of those UFOs. So what we're finding is go a little bit to the around the edge of these UFO sites. You're gonna see, like, basically there's going to be a number around each of those. So the number, when you drive on them in the right order, is going to show you a symbol. Now this one, I don't know, seems kind of bugged. Like, you don't actually have to drive over that one to see the symbol, or maybe that's just a sample that once it shows you the first one, it'll actually show you the symbol. But you need to drive over these in a certain order, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there's another crash site up here where you guys can see we need to find some sort of ball or orb and put that in there. So we're going to do that. So first thing we're going to do is go to all the different crash sites. Now, if you guys need like a little bit of a point of reference of where I am, look on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and you guys can see there's a map. Basically, there's a town area and there's like sort of a desert area. And then you guys can see right there, that is the map. So kind of look at that for some clues of where I'm at. But you can see walking on this by myself doesn't actually cause the symbol to appear. It's some sort of alien symbol and I need to see it, so I have to drive over it. So make sure you just, you know, go to my cars and spawn one of the cars and then drive over it, and then you'll see the first symbol. So that one was sort of like a 7 with a slash over it. Looks a little interesting, but is alien technology, so you want to write that down. So that is, we're basically going around and we're finding a 4-digit code, which is going to be around the map, and it's going to be at these different crash sites. So we go to number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, and then we need to find those symbols, and then we're going to write those down. And then after we write those down, we'll have our code, and then we can go on to the next part. So just watch what I'm doing now. We're going to crash site number 2 now, and then we're getting the second number for the second symbol. We've already sort of looked at that one, but we got to kind of drive over to it just to make sure that we're making these appear in the right order, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to go over here, and this symbol right here almost looks like a number 5 a little bit. Almost looks like a number 5, but number 2 is that symbol, so I'm going to write that down, or at least as close as I can to something that looks like it. So now we're going to go over and find ourselves to the third spot, find the third symbol in the fourth spot, and find the fourth symbol. So just watch where I go for those. Keep an eye on the map on the bottom right if you need any help knowing where I'm going. You guys might see things differently, like your order might be a little bit different. So like spot number 4 for me might be spot number 3 for you, or vice versa. So just make sure you know where number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 are in the map. And if you need to know where the crash sites are, just kind of look around and you'll be able to see, like, there's like little purple light beams that are kind of shooting up towards the sky. So they're really easy to find. Okay, now that we've got all 4 symbols, basically there's like sort of like a 7 looking one that looks like a 5, one that looks sort of like a 4, and one that looks sort of like a G, or at least for my symbols. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to town. We're going to go all the way across town. I'm speeding this up a little bit, but then on the other side of town is this big long bridge. And then at the end of this big long bridge, we're going to go find that ball that we were looking for. So yeah, we're going to have to take that ball and we are going to have to push it pretty much across the whole map over to that one spot. So this is the particular crash that we're going to find that is close to the ball. We just go interact with this thing right here, and then we've got that ball. I don't know if you have to find those 4 symbols first. It's probably better just go find the 4 symbols and find the code that you need, and then you can get this ball. So now this one, again, I'm going to speed it up quite a bit, and this is a little bit tedious trying to get this ball over to the other spot. If the ball goes in the water, that's no problem. You can also drive in the water, so that's no big deal. If you find like you're around barriers, just keep pushing it forward until you get to a spot where there's no barriers in the way. So here we go. I'll come back to you when we get to the spot where we're going to go and drop off the ball. All right, so here we are dropping the ball off and it's deposited. So now that that ball is deposited in that little spot, we come over here and we can see we've got a keypad, but the numbers on the keypad are definitely messed up, and your guys' numbers and the orders and everything might be different. So make sure you guys got the special code that is like unique to you and the server that you're in. So yeah, if you wrote those down, then you're going to be all set right here. At this point, we need to go in and enter the numbers in this keypad. So this is the keypad. Better just kind of get out of your vehicle. The exit car button is there on the right side. I'm sure you've probably figured it out by now playing the game. So now we just enter the symbols in the order that we found them. So you just need to stand on one for, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds to enter it. So if you step on one, it's no big deal. You just need to stand on it for a long time. So this was number 2. And then the next one to me looked kind of like a number 4 or an X with an extra wave on the top. And then the next one for me looked like a G. And so these were the 4 numbers, and then they will turn green if you've got it right. They will turn red if you've got it wrong. So make sure you've got the symbols in the right order and you've got them correct. Then go in there, grab that token, and then you're all set. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later. What's up, guys? I'm going to show you how to get the 23rd mega token here in Roblox as a part of the Hunt Mega Edition. So watch what we're doing over here. This is the game Untitled boxing game. And yes, you are going to have to do kind of a boxing round at the end, and it is a little bit challenging. So hopefully you played the game a little bit before, but you might actually still be able to get through it even if you haven't, because it's not the worst one in the world. So what we're doing just to start out is we're going to go to this boxing ring in the back, and then you can see in this boxing ring we're going to climb up here, and when we climb up here there is an invisible rope, and if we climb up that invisible rope from the furthest side of it, we're going to climb up here, and there's going to be a platform up at the top. So in the platform we are going to start doing some hacking to try to get our way to a special place. So once we go up to the top here, and if you climb up the other side, you might hit the bottom, you might not make it, but you see this right here, it's a terminal, and we're going to hack at the terminal. So when we do the hacking, basically what we need to do is just know how to spell the colors and see the colors. Again, colorblind people, sorry, you're on your own. So basically on the right, we can say it's wrong. On the left side, we say it's right. If the color matches what is written, then it's right. If the color is not matching what is written, then it's wrong. So green and it's red, but then it's wrong. But if it's green and it's colored green, then it's correct. If it's blue and it's red, it's wrong. If it's blue, it's colored blue, it's right. So this next part, what we're doing is we've got infinite, since we've done the hacking, we've got the ability to have all the stamina we want. So all we have to do is just do this dash motion right here and this dash motion right here. I've got an Xbox controller, so it's like the right trigger. I think it might be like space or shift. So yeah, once you're dashing, basically it's like the game's treating you like you've been hacking, you've been flying through the game. So it's like that whole leave the game thing for hacking, it's not real. It's a part of this whole mega token thing. So now you've got yourself to the next platform. Now, as far as what to do on this platform, okay, so this is an obby. You can see like the first part of the obby, pretty straightforward. You can't really see that far in front of your face. And as you're making progress, you can see some of those things start popping up. So I'm going to let you sort of watch me going through the obby. I'm going to speed like here pretty soon. I'm going to speed it forward pretty fast because I got lost in a huge part of the obby. You guys can find your way. If you guys follow where I'm going, you're probably going to take just as long, if not, you know, longer trying to get through where it is, but it's hard, man. You can't see where you're going, and there's these beams that you have to walk on, and then when you're walking on the beams, there's so many different options to go. But if you go down any of the paths in the beam and you see that it comes to a dead end, then you've gone the wrong way. So basically, I think what we need to do is we're trying to kind of work our way towards like back and like to the right in the whole thing. And again, if you see some of those things pop up, then it's pretty good for you. But I'm going to leave this. It's at 3 speed. You can see me hitting all the dead ends. And hopefully by watching this, you can kind of figure out where I went to actually find the end. But yeah, just watch where we go. And I'll be back when we find the end of this maze. Okay, so now we've hopped over here, and this part's a little strange. You stand on these blue things, and they're actually launching you up in the air. I thought they were disappearing, and I thought I was falling. So basically, it's going to launch you up in the air, and then you can see where the next one is as well. So you guys see how like the next one is up there and to the right. So I was watching this, and I was like very confused on what I was supposed to do. So if you guys are confused at first, just take a look at what it's doing. You step on it, and it just automatically launches you up in the air. So we're going to make our way up the top of those, and once we get to the top of those, we're going to drop down, and then after we drop down, we've got this thing, and we're going to hack into this next one. So once again, we're going to go through this whole thing, and we're going to make sure we get our colors correct, guys. All right, now that we've got our colors correct, we've got unlimited stamina. You can see up at the top it says game is hacked, infinite stamina. So that allows you to use this dash to move forward through these red pillars. You don't want to touch them. If you touch them, you're going to fall like I did, like this, and then it makes you fall. And then you might be able to go again, but if you touch it again, you're going to die. So it actually took me a few tries to get to the end of it. It's not actually that long. It's like you get 4 like good tries, but I kept hitting the red. So when I actually got to the end of it, it wasn't on camera. But at the end of this thing, which isn't very far, you get forward and you get to a little teleporter, and then the teleporter is going to take you over here to this place, which is called the Void. So the Void, you go back here, and yay, you've got your mega token. No, I'm just kidding. Not so fast. You don't have your mega token yet. You have to go through a battle against this dude, and then after you fight against him and you win, then you'll get yourself the mega token. So you can get knocked down a couple times, and he can get knocked down a couple times. After you knock him down 3 times, you'll win. And it seems like after you knock him down, he comes back just a little bit more powerful. The heavy attack was really good, and if you can time your dashes and your dodges at the right time so that you can get away when he's slicing at you, and then you can hit him with a counter or even a really heavy attack, then that's a good way to do it. When he gets tired, that's a good time to start like wailing on him. And if you get like, try not to tire yourself out as well. So yeah, that's just a strategy. It's kind of just playing the game the way it normally is. If you played the game the way it normally is, or gone through the tutorial, or gotten like the regular token, you'll see exactly what you've got to do. So we're going to speed through the rest of this battle, and we'll go get the token. Okay, so now that we've been knocked down 2 times, but he still doesn't have much life left, so I'm just going to get in there. I'm just going to try to punch him and pummel him as much as I can, and I did. We got him down 3 times, and we got the badge there on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, so there we go. 23 out of 25 mega tokens. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, and thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later. All right, second to last mega token in the game, It Girl, which is linked in the description. As soon as you start out here in the lobby, you want to go to this counter over here, and you want to grab the remote control, and then there's usually a battery like right next to it, and if not, just look around. There's 3 batteries that you have to find either in the lobby area or once you've started a game. So now that we're actually in the game, I found 1 battery in the lobby area. As soon as I spawned in the game, I saw this battery right over here. It could be like anywhere. It's probably not going to be the same spots for me as it is for you. I think they're kind of randomized, but the other 3rd battery that I found was right over here. So they could be on any of the tables, any of the benches, next to any of the things that you can click on to get outfits. Anyways, we've got 3 batteries. We've got a remote control. So we're going to go and click on and equip basically our remote control right there, or you can just press the 1 button and then click on it. So then there's going to be a huge cutscene, guys. Lots of cutscenes. I'm editing out all the cutscenes here, so well, for the most part, I'm getting the cutscenes edited out. So this whole thing should probably take you about 20 minutes, half of that being cutscenes, basically. So as soon as you're done with that one, you go and you collect this little item right here, which is a piece of a gun that we're going to be using here later. So next we have to go through and we have to find some pieces of paper. So we're going to find these numbers. Our numbers are, we've got right there, we've got a number right there behind that little refrigerator thing, and then we go back around the other side and out of this room, and then we're going to go into the next area right over here, and they're both called analysis area. So we've got basically analysis area 1 and analysis area 2. So we've got in the back, okay, like back on the other side of this, you can check all the drawers and things. There's a number 3 right over here for me. So we've got so far 3 of the numbers. There's a total of 4 numbers. We're trying to get numbers for our code. So we're going to be finding some other items here throughout this place as well. You also want to make sure, like when you're walking around, if you see like a little pink thing that's lying around next to something, you might want to pick that up. Some of your items might be in the exact same spots as mine are, so if they are, then good for you. Like that means it'll be much quicker for you to get this. But some of these items, of course, could be hiding in different spots that could be randomized, but they don't seem very difficult or very well hidden, and there's not really that many places that you can that you have to look for them. So the next thing we're looking for is another piece of that gun, which is right over here next to this door. You see that door with the key card access? We want to grab that little piece right there. So on the bottom, we've got piece 1 and piece 2 for a little gun that we're still working on putting together, but we still also need to get just one more piece of paper to find the code for getting into that that little refrigerator thing. So this is the 4th number, number 6, and then on the other side of that chair right there, you want to get that too. So now we have a password and we have a 4-digit code. So the 4-digit code has been torn up, so you just need to basically put it together like a puzzle. It's not difficult. You can tell which one's the first one and the last one, and they should all fit together like that. So we've got 6063, and we've got a password, which is token, but the E is a 3 instead of a normal E. So those are going to be needed here right away. Actually, we're going to go to this lock right here, and we're going to enter the 4-digit code. So we're going to open up this thing just by using that code. We've got 6063. Now we're going to confirm that. So by confirming that, that opens this up, and that gives us an access code or an access card that we're going to be using to get into the next area, which is a little obby. So after this, yeah, grab this card, go to the door that I send you to, and go across the obby, and we'll show you. It's a really easy obby as well, guys. So don't worry about it. It's not really challenging. None of this is really difficult to do. There's even a boss fight, and that's not really challenging either. So yeah, just go to this door, use your key card, go to the end of the obby, and we'll be back to talk to you once we've got our little gun put together. Okay, bouncing up to the top of this, we've got the 3rd and final piece. So now we get another little cutscene assembling this little gun, which looks like an old school, like Super Soaker. So we're just gonna run back. We're gonna speed forward through this part of the obby. And now that we've got this gun, we're gonna go to one of these rooms, and we're gonna go get ourselves another key card. So just go where I go over here, and you'll see what we're gonna be doing next. Okay, we're going back here to analysis area number 1, and we're going to use this little gun, and we're going to use the gun to shoot this glass right there. Now, after shooting the glass, we can grab the card. So now we've got a key card and we can get access to the other really big door over here that we didn't have access to before. So using this key card, you're going to get access to this room, and this is where you're going to do a boss battle. So just explaining the boss battle here for you guys. Again, not difficult. You've got a gun. There's a little heart thing in the middle. Just run around in circles and shoot at it, because basically if you stand in one spot, it can hit you, but if you're moving, then it won't. It's really easy. You can see the red things on the ground where it's shooting and where it's going to try to attack you. So just basically run around it, and if you run outside of the range, which seems like not too far, then it says you're out of the battle. But anyways, we're going to go through a few rounds. You see we've got 4 of those little things around here, these pods. It's like your friends that have been turned into robots. So what you're going to do is we're going to hack all of these computers. So after you shoot the heart in the middle, like basically 25%, you're going to open up access to one of the computers. Now this first computer, we're going to use that password that we found on the bottom of the chair earlier, which for me is token with the E is a 3, and we're going to enter that, and that's going to free our friend. And in this process, you're going to see a whole bunch of these cutscenes. So I'm editing a lot of those out. So we're going to go through that process, and each of these computers has a little game, pretty straightforward, really easy. So yeah, just go through, and you got to go and free the other 3 creatures, which are apparently your friends as well. So yeah, we'll be back here once we've got all those guys freed and we're ready to claim our mega token. All right, and here we are. Finally, we have freed the fourth and final robot, which is actually a friend. Then you're going to see another big long cutscene, and then go and make sure you claim this token. Then you've got the badge there. So now we've got one more in Fisch. Here we go. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll talk to you guys later. All right, guys, we're going to show you guys how to get the 25th and final Mega token in the game Fisch as a part of the Hunt Mega Edition. So first thing you're going to do in this island where we spawn, we're going to go up and we're going to talk to an NPC, and he's basically going to say, hey, go bring me a token. All right, so here he is up here. We're going to interact with him. So yeah, just talk to this guy, and he says, hey man, I've got some energy for a mega token around here. And then he's gonna tell you to bring him a token. So you say, yes, of course I'm gonna do that. So what we need to do is get a boat. So you can follow where I go to the front of the island, and there's a merchant where you can get boats and you can purchase them. If you don't have any money in the game, or if you've never played it before, you can just look online for some codes to get some free money in the game. And I think you also might have to get to level 5 in order to get like the first one. But if I think there's an event going on right now, and if you just enter the codes, like I was able to just purchase a it was like a lucky pot of gold from him like right away. So we're just gonna go and spawn that, and then we're gonna hop into our little boat, which in my case is a lucky pot of gold. So what we need to do now is find Terrapin Island. So when you go out in the water, you're going to see the names of islands that you're close to. So the name of the one that you're looking for is Terrapin. I've sped this up a little bit. Now we can see it right there, Terrapin Island. So it's back there over by Snow Island and all that stuff. So around the other side of Terrapin Island, you can see over here, we're going to find this ramp and go up to this area. Now you see a big door right there with a big key in it, and you see all these pillars with the 3 different stones on top of them. All you have to do is go and rearrange these stones until they're all turning green. So pretty easy. You just have to have, I think, the triangles facing the same direction in this one, and then on the second side over here there's another one, and you just have to have the it looks sort of like a target or a stop sign. Have those ones facing the proper direction, and then we're going to go over to this one, and the next symbol is the moon is what we're looking at. So I was trying to get rid of some of that stuff at the top, but I couldn't get rid of it off the screen. Anyways, I'm just going to leave it up there. So now we've got the moon facing the proper direction for all of these, and this is going to give us a little cutscene over there. You see that door rolling, and then we go inside there, and we are in this room right here. So from this room in the back over down here to the left, we're gonna go into that little room, and then it's just a quick little cutscene here with your player kind of falling down some sort of ledge. But when you fall down this ledge, we've got this thing that we've got to do, and we are timed in it. So getting through this maze, I don't get through it right away, but you can see it doesn't take me very long. So if you follow in where I go in the maze, you will actually, get there. But yeah, I do run into a couple of dead ends. So we'll be back here when we make it to the end of this maze. All right, here we are. We have made it to the end of the maze. So before we start messing with any of that stuff or doing any of our fishing, we're going to take a right. And there's I don't know if I'd even really call it an obby. There's just a couple things that you got to jump over to get to the back and talk to this little Cthulhu character. So Cthulhu back here is going to have a song for you. So you're going to go and listen, and it's 8 notes. So you're going to press the E to interact with it and listen. Now I recommend like record it or use your phone and record it, whatever. Write down the order of these notes, draw them in order. There is a total of 8 of them, and they've got different symbols like musical notes. You know, some of them are full notes, half notes, like quarter notes. We've got a bass clef. We've got all sorts of different notes in there, but just write those down in the order 1 through 8, okay? Because it's very important that you remember exactly which order those go into. So now what we're going to do is go over to this little lake over here, and we've got to equip our flimsy rod. So we're going to go over into our rods, and we're going to equip our flimsy rod to use on this one. So I think they're trying to make it as beginner friendly as possible. And then you see the door in the back there. There's a door back there, and there's slots, but also above that door there's a timer that's counting down. So you got to make sure you do this before the timer finishes up. And I still had like 3 minutes to spare, so if you're just kind of like doing this, like watch this video before you go in there, and then you'll be able to get it. So basically what you need to do is go through here and catch 8 fish. And I'm sure you've played the game, you've played a little bit of catching of the fish. You just need to get 8 of them out of this little pond with the flimsy rod, and just keep track of how many you got. Or if you want, you can get one at a time, and then you can check the note for it, and then you can put it in the slot. Whichever way you want to do it, it's really up to you. So each of these fish that are coming out of this pond, you can go up to that little wall behind it, and you can tell which note the fish actually stands for. Now, I don't know if this means that the fish itself is singing or whatever, how like there's a musical note associated with a fish. I have no idea whatsoever, but yeah, just keep going through. We're actually speeding this up a little bit. If you have like really good bait, that might be helpful for you, but basically what you want to do is go and equip the fish that you caught, and you go up to this thing, and if you press E, if it's red, then it's not the right fish. It's not a fish out of this thing, it's one of your old fish. So this will actually be easier for you if you just kind of clear out your inventory of the fish, sell all the fish you got before you come in here. But when you use a fish that you've caught in this lake, you will go up to that thing and it will give you a symbol. So this for me was the last symbol of the notes that I got from Cthulhu around that corner there. So that was the 8th note, so I'm going to go put that fish in the 8th slot over there. So now I'm going to come and do that with every single fish that I've got and caught out of here. So at this point I've got 5 fish. I've listened to the notes for 2 of them now. We've got 1 of them in the slots. We're going to put these 5 in there, and then we're going to go and we're going to fish for 3 more, and then we're going to come back and look at those. So we're just going through the same process here, just remembering the order of the notes, looking at the notes that are associated with the fish, and then put the fish in the correct numbered slot in the door behind you. And of course you got to make sure you do it before the timer runs out. So we're just gonna be right back here to you after we've got the mega token. Okay, so we've got the final fish in there. The door is opening, and on the other side of the door, we've got our mega token. So after you grab this, make sure you go back to like the main island and talk to that NPC again. And you gotta bring the mega token back to him. But then after that, you'll get the badge. So if you're new here, though, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later.